Imagine a conversation where every word is perfectly polite, yet the person across from you has their arms locked tight and their eyes fixed on the exit. Most of us spend years refining our professional vocabulary while remaining completely unaware of the physical signals we are constantly broadcasting to the room. This data reveals a massive disconnect in how we perceive communication. While we focus on the words, a full 80% of the information we exchange happens through nonverbal channels. Decoding We's physical energy states allows you to look past what is being said and see what is actually being felt. Navigating this unspoken spectrum is how we move past surface-level talk and begin building rapport based on a person's actual intent. When someone is genuinely open to your ideas, their body reflects that honesty. They will keep their hands visible and relaxed and may unbutton a coat as they settle into the conversation. We see this biological instinct in children. They throw their arms wide when they are excited, but instinctively hide their hands behind their backs the moment they try to conceal the truth. A common sign of the thinking mode is a hand resting on the cheek with the index finger pointed upward. This is often accompanied by a slight tilt of the head, an involuntary reflex that happens when we are processing something we find genuinely interesting. Charles Darwin noted this specific behavior, observing that the head tilt is a universal human response to encountering a subject of intense interest. When the body adopts these relaxed, asymmetrical positions, it signals that the mind is no longer on the defensive and is ready to engage with new information. If your client or colleague suddenly crosses their arms tightly over their chest, they have moved into a defensive state, creating a physical barrier between themselves and your message. Continuing a high-pressure pitch at this moment rarely works. It is often more effective to pause and address the underlying hesitation that triggered the shift. Anxiety frequently leaks out through micro-gestures around the face, such as repeatedly rubbing the nose or covering the mouth with a hand. People trapped in a difficult decision often show restlessness in their lower body, frequently tugging at or smoothing out their pants while they remain seated. These friction signals are involuntary distress responses. Recognizing them allows you to adjust your approach and resolve the tension before it stalls the interaction. Confidence and authority are projected through this steeple position, where a person brings their fingertips together to form a rigid triangle. Those attempting to show dominance often take up as much space as possible, whether by putting their feet up on a desk or draping an arm over the back of a partner's chair. Conversely, someone gripping their own wrist tightly behind their back is often performing an act of self-restraint, trying to physically hold back their own rising stress or frustration. The most definitive signal of disengagement is the position of the feet. If they are pointed directly toward the door, the conversation is effectively over. No matter how much they might be nodding or smiling, the direction of the feet shows that their focus has already moved toward leaving the room. Acknowledging this flight response allows you to end the meeting professionally, rather than wasting time trying to convince someone who is no longer mentally present. These physical responses are grounded in biological survival mechanisms and social evolution. Every outward gesture we have discussed is an external reflection of a person's internal state of mindfulness and focus. Maintaining a sense of inner composure naturally produces the open, steady posture that we associate with effective leadership. In your next professional meeting, try to look beyond the spoken agenda. Watch for the subtle shifts in posture and energy occurring around the room. The human body acts as a continuous mirror for the mind, broadcasting our truest intentions long before we ever find the words to say them.